So I've come to this very interesting realization that there is a huge media perception and PR bias against Xbox. This was so bad that even I myself, who I never really had anything to do with Xbox ever in my life for the most part, I decided, man, I need to say something because this is egregious. It's one thing to like a platform, it's another thing to be consistent and honest, especially when you're discussing these matters. Now, honesty is not something that is easy to achieve. We make mistakes, we miss things all the time. We're human beings. However, when some of these mistakes continue to happen, it just becomes really weird. Even to the point where whenever I'm talking about these things, some people mistake me for being some kind of Xbox fan. When in reality, the only time I ever had an Xbox was in the 360 days when somebody gave me an Xbox 360 and I just played a bunch of the games I wanted to play, but there was a PS3 there. And when I first bought my very first console, it was a PlayStation 4. That's the first console that I actually spent my money on. In fact, somebody was trying to lambast me in the comment section and said, you're a PC gamer. Shouldn't matter if Xbox has exclusives or not, unless you bought a PC because you knew your fave had a foot in the grave. You have to be careful with assumptions. This is why a lot of people don't necessarily think before they talk. You know, talking about me being jealous about PlayStation money hiding games. In fact, people are defending all kinds of stuff, and I think it's simply because for the most part, the media would not shut up with just bad news upon bad news about Xbox and downplay anything that is negative about PlayStation. It's almost like clockwork. I've been looking on Twitter and I just can't help but see the memes. I can't help but see a lot of the headlines that, people are screenshotting. The way these people basically gave a game like Redfall a 4 when in reality they don't have. This is IGN. I mean, IGN, pointless. They don't have a review for Concord. Their review is a review in progress when I checked at the time of making this video. Even looking at, say, one of the articles somebody posted, I thought this was very interesting. The gamer don't even bother playing Redfall single player, and then the same publication, let's give Concord a chance. Now, yes, it might be two different people who must have written it, but at the same time, look at what the way the publication, is really just showing all of this stuff. Then this article says, Redfall is the latest example of games chasing dead trends. But then at the end of the day, when it comes to Concord, let's give Concord a chance. Man, if anybody tells me that the thing they call Xbox tax, even though it's a meme connotation, if anybody tells me that that's not real, you're lying at this point. Like, I'm literally just sitting here as somebody who's looking from the outside going, really? I mean, I would never have played Redfall. I like vampire stories and vampire lore, and them bringing as a live service game of some kind with Arcane's art style and all the above, not appealing to me at all. There's no way I'd have played it. I'd also not have played Concord, regardless of what anybody had done, even if it was a solid, stellar arena shooter, blah, blah, blah. I don't play those. However, looking at the reactions from both audiences and seeing that, okay, these two games, they landed, and the people who the games were made for did not want them, and seeing the media reaction to it in real time, man, you really got to say something is going on. I think this media reaction has really influenced a lot of people. Somewhere, somehow, they've internalized a lot of this stuff that they're seeing on the internet. They've internalized a lot of all of this that's going on right now. And believe you me, I think some folk have basically taken this and they're running with it as if it's the reality, or as if like Xbox is doing something, sinister or bad or inherently terrible. Now, yes, I'm not a fan of Microsoft, not am I a fan of Sony. I don't care about these corporations because they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They're here to take your money. So this is one of the reasons I looked at PlayStation 4 back then and I was like, what am I even doing here? Really, I've always played on a PC. It's not like a big problem for me. So I just decided, I'm going to have a console on the side because I had friends on the PlayStation, platform. I have good friends that have, PlayStations and good friends that have Xboxes. So I kept the consoles to be able to still play games with them whenever. But at the end of the day, it just didn't really make sense for me to continue to just stay on these platforms and look around and be like, this game is like $70 on here. And then on CD keys, it's like $25. What am I doing here? I'm not trying to give these guys my money just because I want to play a stupid video game. At the end of the day, believe it or not, these are pieces of entertainment that we can live without. And I take that approach every time I look at these games. So in looking and thinking about this stuff, I think the media bias has basically created this weird conundrum around Xbox. Nothing Xbox can do or does is good. Even some of the pundits, like the video I made yesterday, where all of them were like, is Xbox's strategy confusing? I mean, we don't know what Xbox is doing. And then Paul Tassi wrote another one saying Xbox needs to pick a lane and fast. When in reality, PlayStation is actually sitting here dropping, these live service games that none of y'all are playing. They're basically dropping single player games that their own audiences are not really playing. Their strategy is pretty much sitting here farming third-party money, which is fine. Steam lives off of third-party money. Nothing wrong with that strategy, but for them to make it seem like their platform is that unique and it offers something so big and great, to me, I see it as a wash. These guys need to bring some real value before we start talking. They need to actually serve their communities, their audiences, and their customers. And to me, it's not, what they're doing is not enough for the price that they're asking for you. They're asking you for money for you to play online. PlayStation Plus, when Steam eats both PlayStation and Xbox in its ecosystem, and you play on there for free. And somehow I'm supposed to be like, oh, well, this console is... Get the heck out of this plastic box out of here with the nonsense that these two companies are doing. And you know what the crazy thing is, ladies and gentlemen? They're capable of letting you play for free. It's not going to destroy them. They're not going to fold up as a company. In fact, it's going to make them a better company because now they have to find other ways to actually make things work. All the third-party deals that they're signing to try to give you free games every month, they're paying third-party publishers to bring those games. They can simply relinquish it, make their platform attractive, put the money towards making games, making small versions of their games, and continue to make their platform interesting for people. Like even David Jaffe said, Jaffe, I think that's how you say it, the God of War creator, he said they could just take money and make small versions of video games in franchises that are really big. Rather than taking 5 years to make a game, they could do some games in 2 years. That keeps their platforms really, really fun. But instead, they'll go pay Ubisoft and pay EA to bring 3 games for you to subscribe to, and then charge you money for that package. And at the end of the day, it's like, what? When in reality, if you think about it, if these companies actually did want to actually sell their games, they could do it on console. They could give everybody like Dead Space Part 1, and then Dead Space Part 1 EA is doing a giveaway. Ubisoft does giveaways all the time. These companies do giveaways all the time. Epic Games, that's where all these third-party publishers are giving away these games that you're seeing on PlayStation Plus. So in reality, there's just nothing. If you're looking around, if your eyes are actually open, you'll see that this is a ruse. And I'm sorry to say this way, ladies and gentlemen. I understand, people want to play on their, on their consoles or their preferred platform. I'm beating on PlayStation, themselves as an institution and Xbox, not you. Okay, please don't take it as I'm beating on you. I'm beating on the guys that, sold you the console so that they can do better, because I know that they can do better because better is out there and we're experiencing better every single day, right? Because the competition is getting more and more fierce. And so I think we need to get to that point where we're actually demanding more rather than following the nonsense press BS that's going on. These are shills, bro. These are people that basically, they feel like, okay, Xbox is in a desperate position so they can beat on Xbox and still maintain access, but they feel like PlayStation is in a strong position because of the perception that they have. This is all a ruse. If the hands were to switch, you're going to see it go the other way. That's just exactly how they're playing this game. So if you're awake to this stuff, you'll see that you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you're still maybe in this little, my list wars or whatever, then, what I'm saying is going to sound really crazy to you, but that's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, I think many of these PlayStation players and Xbox players are going to turn to PC players anyways. I mean, they're already running to PC. I don't have to even do anything. All I got to do is make a video and say, hey, here's how you build a $300 PC that can play all these Xbox games. And they're going to be like, $300? That's the end of it. Anyways, I just wanted to rant a little bit about this stuff. So thanks for tolerating me, and I appreciate you guys so much. And let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Peace out.